The job market has objectively never been worse. And Microsoft's AI chief literally just said this: in 18 months, all white-collar jobs will be gone. That's complete BS, relax. He's just trying to scare people and get investors. But he's right about something. There will be bloodshed as AI slaughters jobs left and right. So what do? Do you sit around waiting for the ship to sink? Or do you find an escape plan at Life Raft? I prefer option 2. In this video, I'll show you the 8 best AI jobs anybody can do in 2026, even starting from scratch, jobs that use AI instead of being replaced by it. So let's begin. Okay, first up is gonna be AI data labeling. Now, I'm gonna roast the shit out of this one, so if you're sensitive, please leave this video. If you think you can make money with data labeling, basically training AI, you're completely delusional. Maybe in 2018 or even 2022, but today, you're better off just going outside picking up scraps. You get some fresh air and it probably pays better too. No, but seriously guys, like 99% of AI training or data labeling and that kind of stuff, they're just scams. Either they just steal your information at the application stage, or it manipulates you to work for free and they ask you to do an hour of work as a test, but in reality, that hour of work is all they need from you and your data. And they just got it for free. You'll never hear from them again and they're satisfied. You got nothing. And even those that aren't scams usually set salaries so incredibly low, it's not even worth it. Just had to get that off my chest. Now we're gonna cover some real AI jobs that are pretty good. And I'll give data labeling a solid 2 out of 10, or even 1 out of 10. Next up, nobody talks about the infrastructure of AI and how it actually works, that there are gigantic data centers using more power, electricity, and water than many cities. Just one data center, it's absolutely insane. Now, we can talk about the environmental issue later, but now let's focus on the job. As expected, this is where the new jobs appear, and nearly 2,800 new data centers are under construction or announced, with thousands of employees needed for every single data center, creating, well, millions of opportunities. Now you think, oh, that's boring, or I need a degree, I need to be a computer tech genius. No, that's not true. First of all, they're suffering from a shortage of workers, and these guys aren't as picky as a field like software engineering or fashion design, which everybody and their dog tries to break into. Plus, top companies like Oracle, for example, run paid training programs for data center technicians, where you basically start with nothing and then you learn the skills on the job. I really like that because it creates entry-level opportunities, which the market clearly lacks right now. You can also get certs and study this online in a few months part-time, like starting with the Google IT Support Certificate for a nice technical foundation. Now, we're not talking about designing or building data centers yourself from scratch. That obviously takes a lot of experience and a lot of skill. We're talking about maintaining, following instructions, fixing problems, the backbone that kind of keeps the data centers running so AI models can run 24/7. And this is not going away anytime soon. It's only becoming more and more important. Companies are literally pouring their hearts and their souls into AI, so it better work. I'll give this career a solid 8 out of 10. The only issue is you have to be physically there, and I know a lot of you guys prefer flexibility, which we'll talk about next. All right, so next up is gonna be the AI SEO specialist. Now, everybody says SEO is dead because now AI has all the answers. SEO used to be a job where you basically rank websites on Google, so when somebody searches dog food, your site appears first on the list, unless you're like a restaurant, probably not the right fit. The person at the top basically gets all the clicks, and that means for a business, it's very important with clicks of potential buyers, unless you want to go bankrupt. But now everything's kind of changed in just a few months. Now, people open ChatGPT, they ask their AI questions instead. And even on Google now, if you've noticed, there's an AI summary that appears at the top in many of the cases. Studies found that 90% of companies are worried about this AI shift and are now pouring money into something called AI SEO to fix it. If you learn this skill now, you're literally stepping into a gold mine. The funny thing is AI SEO is quite simple. Instead of showing up on Google, you show up in the AI. AI searches exploded 527% in 1 year. And when people ask AI something or a question, your links and your company shows up. Now, the good thing is AI SEO is not a tech genius field, and it doesn't require a degree or even experience. But if you have some SEO experience, that is of course going to be very helpful. A lot of universities are still teaching marketing like it's the 50s. They're showing you how to hand out flyers or put in ads in newspapers. But fundamentals, they're always good. But AI SEO is so incredibly new, it's literally just a few years old, that it's best learned online in new courses from people actually doing it themselves. For example, I found this one for like $10 on Udemy with amazing reviews that show you don't need to spend much money to learn valuable skills. Mix SEO with AI and that gives you the complete toolkit. My final score of this is going to be about 7.5 out of 10, slightly lower because I fear that many SEO people will switch over to AI SEO sooner or later as that field falls apart. So it's only like a small opportunity, a small window. If you start before all those people go into that new field, that's a good thing. Okay, moving on, forget about tech, forget about computers. Right now in 2026, the money is in selling AI. It's not in building it or programming it, it's selling. And look, AI engineers or top tech roles require years of education and heavy tech experience, but selling AI requires nothing except being able to sell, which is a heck of a lot quicker to learn than going like 5 years to school to learn some tech fundamentals. And you're selling the easiest thing to sell on the planet, the hottest thing right now, which is AI. You're not trying to sell a car. You work for a company building AI solutions or AI products, and you sell it to other companies. High ticket, expensive, big deals mean big commissions for the salespeople without even touching the code or touching the technology itself. You learn the basics of sales, and companies will often train you if they see potential. And many positions in sales are very flexible, they don't require degrees, it's about performance and hard work, not where you went to school, which is a good thing. And don't worry, you're not going to get thrown into like an intense sales situation right away. You'll often start by setting appointments or cold calling and then train your way up. You'll start talking to owners or managers, close deals, and live the good life. But yeah, it takes a lot of hard work and there's no sleeping on the job. The Wolf of Wall Street certainly wasn't the healthiest or the greatest guy ever, but if you're willing to hustle, this is definitely it. Now, if you don't want to hustle, if you don't want this stuff, you prefer to chill and you just want to have a decent salary, the next one is for you. And I'll give this one sales like an 8 out of 10. Depends on your personality, really depends on that a lot. Okay, next one is going to be AI QA. Look, AI is being crammed into everything. I promise soon your fridge is gonna have arms and legs and go shopping on its own. That's a business I want to invest in, by the way. If you have that idea, send me a message. The problem is it's not perfect and companies are panicking, right? One bad AI thing could damage consumer trust, cause a lot of harm, and result in expensive lawsuits. In rare situations, serious harm has actually occurred. Like, what if your walking fridge buys a PlayStation and plays GTA 6 for himself instead of food for you? Disaster. Without testing, AI dreams turn into AI nightmares. And so there's a rising demand for software quality assurance and tester jobs. With some of the rising areas being AI output reviewing the output, makes sense. LLM testing if the models are good. Bias evaluation, very important. An AI model safety tester if it's safe. Surprise. And even better for you, there are new laws and regulations such as the AI Act in the European Union, which require rigorous testing by law. So people in the AI or kind of like the QA testing fields are in for a ride. And the way to start is kind of like a normal tester. It's basic programming and then specialize in testing AI. Great option, especially if you're already in tech or thinking about it. So 7 out of 10. Okay, next up is gonna be that thing everybody talks about. I just have to mention it, and I have a little bit of a twist here. So next up is gonna be AI automation. This can be done without a degree and without coding. Now, I see AI automation everywhere. It's really overhyped. Everybody's talking about it like this revolutionary thing. And that's a red flag. When everybody's talking about something, everybody's saying it's the greatest thing ever, you should probably, be a little bit suspicious. And most people don't really understand what AI automation really means. AI automation is not the gold mine that people think. Gurus will try to sell you the idea that if you just listen to them, you'll suddenly become the next Jeff Bezos or Mark Zuckerberg thanks to AI automation. Complete bullshit. But there is some legitimate things you can do. Tools like Nathan, Make, Zapier, and others allow you to build workflows and automate boring or fun tasks if you only want to do the boring ones. I guess you could do that. Such as scheduling calls in a business, updating things, sending out resources, messages to customers, etc. And truthfully, you can increase the revenue and decrease the cost of a business by making things more efficient. And that's why companies like AI automation. Now, if you can learn these skills early, which it's still early, you can either apply for a job or you can just start freelancing or even build an agency. It's still really new, so I do recommend the freelance route because you're not going to find a lot of regular jobs. But if you actually want to do this and get it right, you need to specialize. That's the secret. It's way too competitive to just sell, I do AI automation. Like, it's not going to work. Do it for marketers, do it for real estate agents, do it for grandmas that like AI. I don't know. Specialize and get some testimonials, and that is how you stand out in your niche, not by trying to win every single deal or person and automate, pet shops, restaurants, IT companies, people who hate, I don't know, just it doesn't work like that. I'll give this one a 7 out of 10. A lot of good stuff here, but a lot of bad stuff too, and kind of lower score because it's overhyped and I want to set real expectations. Next up is going to be a really weird one, a really strange one, and it's called AI tutoring. But everybody from kids to students to adults, the elderly, everybody's trying to get AI literate. They're basically trying to build AI skills because it affects every job and even daily life nowadays. For example, imagine not being able to use a smartphone in 2026. Your life would be kind of limited because a lot of society is adapted to it now. That's going to happen to AI too. So schools are already pushing AI literacy hard, and 59% of teachers expect students to need, not want, but need AI skills in the future to do anything. Companies are also training their staff, and the total AI education market is exploding from about 3.5 billion to now an expected 30 billion by 2029, which is not that far away. That creates a gap for people who can educate and for tutors. Now, it's not about teaching machine learning or how to build AI agents or, the tech computer stuff. That's only one part of it, the deep technical side. And you don't need to be this AI engineer person. People teach basic AI skills. They teach prompting, like AI for writers, marketers, students, teachers, whatever. I know it sounds a bit like complete BS, but that's because we're still very early. There are thousands of people making a living teaching, let's say, guitar or teaching chess. And look, I love music, I love chess, but objectively speaking, AI skills are clearly more important. So why wouldn't people and organizations pay to teach that? We're already seeing a lot of companies teach this, hiring people to upskill their workforce to stay ahead, and I think it's going to become extremely important and popular amongst regular tutors too. But now, I totally get it, it's a bit vague, so let's move to something more tangible that's happening right now. 6.5 out of 10. And that is going to be the AI support engineer. Now, one of the easiest ways into AI is not building it, but just fixing it. Somebody else spends 10 years learning how to build it, you just maintain it and get paid, which to me sounds pretty good. Now, there are two sides here. Either you work on the internal AI the team is using, let's say you work at a marketing firm, then you help the marketers at the firm use AI and fix any issues in the marketing AI. But you can also work for a company that sells AI, like we talked about before. If, let's say, OpenAI tries to sell ChatGPT to businesses, it might break. They might need to set it up, connect it, all that stuff. And your job is to make sure all the customers of this company get the AI in place and have it working every single time. You can even do this without coding skills, and it's becoming more and more possible every day. However, the more tech skills you have, the better, as you can solve more problems and also climb the support ranks faster and get promoted because you know what you're doing. Definitely a 7.5 out of 10. Now, I also cover certifications to actually get these AI jobs over here in this video. Many are free as well. They're for all levels, and if you're new, check them out right there.